Welcome to the Hustle Factory podcast show.
All we do is hustle.
And here's your host, John Lindemus.
He's kind of a big deal.
Bringing you amazing insights and views of entrepreneurship on today's society.
Ladies and gentlemen, recording episode 10 from a small town of Howland County, Avon Park, Florida. And this is your host, John Lindemus. And today's episode, I'll be discussing about happiness in an entrepreneur's perspective. And do make sure to tune in to the near end of this episode because we got an amazing independent artist that will be featured on today's episode. And I promise you guys, this is gonna be fucking dope. And his tracks are on fire. I mean, literally on fire on his SoundCloud right now. Not even lying. So, we all get this question all the time when it comes to happiness, right? And that is, are you happy? Now, it sounds like a pretty straightforward question to most people, but when you think about it, actually, no. It's not really something you can really think about it. It's more like, but it's actually a very meaningful to us entrepreneurs today. And I'm going to tell you why this simple question is just simply meaningful to all of us entrepreneurs out there. And it's actually pretty simple, yet it holds a very significant value to us entrepreneurs, you know? And the point being is, whenever someone asks me this question, instead of telling them a straight yes or no answer, for some reason, it somehow reminds me or gave me that some sort of a reminiscence or like a flashback, the whole reason why I started the path of becoming an entrepreneur in the first place, you know? It's like somehow, anytime someone asks me that question, it kind of somehow reminds the reason why I did this in the first place. And now just keep in mind, it doesn't have to be about entrepreneurship. It could be, why did I became a rapper in the first place? Why did I become a teacher? You know, so on. It's basically applicable to everything in general in life, you know. And before we go on further to this episode, I just want to give you guys an idea on what's really happening on this episode. As I have mentioned before, this is all about happiness, except I'll be talking about the concept of happiness to an entrepreneur's perspective. Basically, what I mean by that is the topic of happiness, there's so many things you can talk about that. In other words, what I'm saying is happiness is a very broad topic, but unless I was talking about something specifically about happiness, then hey, I'll go ahead and do that to some near future episodes out there, you know. But I would love to make another episode of happiness. But actually, I might be doing that next episode, probably next couple of episodes, so on. But we'll see what's going to happen, you know. So anyways, the following points that I will be talking about for the next few minutes are some of the insights that I truly believe that contributes and correlates to achieving your own happiness. So here goes. So let me ask you guys this question, guys. Are you happy? And hold that thought for a second, you know. Are you happy? Are you fucking happy? And are you sure? Are you happy? And honestly, I can't really answer this question at the moment because I feel like I haven't achieved that level of happiness that I've been craving for a long time. And everyone feels that way. Like, I can tell you that right now, straight up. You can ask your friend, you can ask your mom, or you can ask literally everyone. But here's the thing. That doesn't necessarily mean that I am unhappy or dissatisfied with my life. It's just the fact that I'm still unsure. So in addition to that, I'm a very driven, laser-focused, ambitious, and most importantly, I have that huge deep sense of purpose. And I honestly cannot say that I am happier than the person next to me, you know. And as an entrepreneur, ladies and gentlemen, we live for the future and we actually cultivate the discipline of delayed gratification. And did you know accomplishment is often our driving force, but what actually happens while we are waiting to be accomplished? So what are your thoughts so far on my first point, guys? Like what I just mentioned. What are your thoughts about it? What do you think about my insights about it? Alright, then moving on to the second one. Let me go ahead and share something to you guys real quick. So 3 years ago, I officially started my journey as an entrepreneur. And to that point, I started asking this question to myself. These questions are, if I accomplish everything in my life, number one is, how would I feel? And number two is, could I let myself feel that now while striving for my goals and dreams? So basically, discovering these questions was actually valuable and profound to me. And although I still kind of struggling just a little bit to apply these answers to these questions. So if you're an individual, and we're gonna be moving on now, I apologize about that. So, anyways, the third point that I would like to make is, if you're an individual who is chasing something huge and worth grinding for, then you can definitely relate to this one that I'm going to be talking about for the next couple of minutes. At times, we feel simultaneously special but alone in your sense of purpose, and we sometimes complicate feeling the simple emotion of happiness. And I would like to share you guys again. So a couple of years ago, while in the pursuit of my journey as an entrepreneur, I actually made a list of all the things that makes me happy. So for the next few minutes, I will go right ahead and tell you the 5 things that makes me happy in briefly. So here goes. So here are the 5 things that makes me happy, or I also call it as well as my 5 happiness with an apostrophe after the S, my 5 happiness list. So here goes. Number one is growing towards my destiny. I'm driven least in part by the fear of wasting my fucking huge potential. Everyone has that kind of everyone has that kind of feeling, and trust me, that's the truth. Secondly, will be entertaining and teaching. One of the newest joys that I totally enjoy so much is making others laugh and teach or educate people on various topics like on social media, marketing, or business. And especially what I love the most is entrepreneurship to other peoples out there. And third one will be physical and mental health. As an entrepreneur, I totally value my physical and mental health, 100% all the way. After all, how are we gonna function fully if we aren't keeping up with our health, right? Like, you gotta learn how to control your stress levels. You gotta learn how to keep up with your health on. You can go into the gym so that you'll feel fit, and you also gotta watch out how much you eat and so on. And you also gotta make sure you learn how to control your stress and all that. That's just what it means on that third one. So the fourth one will be feeling empathy. Most of the time, I really don't enjoy talking about my own life because it can sometimes feel as if it drains the very energy from my body. And I'm betting you right now, the majority of the time, people out there, they don't like talking about their own life because sometimes it somehow make them uncomfortable. Or there are times that they don't mind talking about their own lifestyle and so on. It's just a matter of opinion or differentiation of different people out there. And the last thing that makes me happy will be, this is probably one of the things that I value the most. And the fifth one will be confronting your comfort zone. Yeah, that's a very big word out there, ladies and gentlemen. Comfort zone. So it might surprise you, but most people don't like dealing with their comfort zones. I mean, I never truly understand why, as as soon as I go on my entrepreneurship journey and all that, I start to get now why. But as an entrepreneur, I truly believe that confronting and conquering your own comfort zone will not only make you feel better, but even improve your overall performance in life. Like, literally, and I'm not even lying. That's the truth. What it just means is that if you can learn to deal with your comfort zone, or whatever the things that you're too comfortable about it, or whatever the things that you're not good at, then I am sure you can level up to the next level. That's the whole gist. So now that we have covered all about happiness on an entrepreneur's perspective, let's get on to one of my fucking favorite segment of this entire show. So we got another rapper that will be featuring on today's episode, and may I just say, this guy is also a rapper. Is also a rapper, and he is all the way from. Let me see if I can pronounce this right. All right, let me try. Thamesmead. Thamesmead. All right, let's try that again. Thamesmead, East London, and I could not honestly say about his tracks, but there's something about that I just can't figure it out. But now I got it. His tracks are fucking dope, fucking amazing, and I promise you guys, if you guys are looking to a new kind of rap, then this is your guy. So without further ado, I present you Bills. That's spelled Billz. And here's a sample of one of his songs from his SoundCloud. So enjoy, guys.
Man can't fuck with your routine.
From day man's known how to graph. Just a little youth with his book full of bars. Real young when I started writing, I passed me a pad and a pen moves fast. Yeah, breeze past, mash it with the stamina. Work all day trying to push through that barrier. Marge always said I was made for the camera. Fuck up the scene, made the rest look amateur. I just got it, they all want a pre-man. Doing bits, now they all want to be fam. Chase up, but he was got that weed pack. Could go away, but he was getting things back. Hard work, it pays you, I've seen stacks. Had 20k stuffed in a beanbag. Another 30k under the floorboard, nearly caught a case, but man went and beat that. Won't ever slack, gonna mash that work. Ready to attack, gonna mash that work. Don't need straps when I mash that burst.
All right, you just heard one of his songs on his SoundCloud titled on one of his songs, and it is titled "Smash That, Mash That Work." And as usual, if you would like to hear the full version of this song, make sure to check him out on SoundCloud and especially on his YouTube channel as well. All of this information will be available on his SoundCloud profile. And before we go ahead and wrap up this episode, I want to go ahead and talk about more about this featured artist segment on my podcast show. Well, basically this whole new thing about the featured artist, it's a whole new segment that I started a couple of episodes ago, but I believe I started it on episode 7. So many people have been asking me about how do they exactly get on. It's not really that hard. It's just a matter of you can either shoot me a private DM on Twitter or Facebook, or the easiest way is if I somehow follow your Twitter profile and you're independent artist, you do it on SoundCloud, YouTube, or whatever. I shoot you a message, and then I listen to your track and I log it. I'll go ahead and, like I said, I'm gonna connect with you and I'm gonna let you know. I would like to give you an opportunity to get a shout out and so on. If you said yes, then hey, I'll do it. That's pretty much it. Basically, the whole point of this featured independent artist is basically a quick 3 to 5 minute shout out about the artist and including one of their songs as well. Just to give them a little bit of boost on their career and so on. If you know what I mean. And to finish up this episode, I just want to say some few things. As an entrepreneur, we may be shaping the future, but we are still living in the present, ladies and gentlemen. And know this, ladies and gentlemen, the things that makes us happy doesn't necessarily have to tied up to your goals that you're trying to reach. Take happiness out of your goal list, and you can simply add it to your to-do list. And perhaps, like you, I'm still pretty much trying to figure it out how to be happy while in pursuit of accomplishment. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts about the list that I did for this episode? And also, what are your thoughts as well on the insights that I was mentioning about happiness and so on? Did it somehow inspire you to create your own list? It would mean a lot. It will mean a world to me if you guys can go ahead and comment down below on the comments below about your own list and what you thought about the episode and so on. And as always, thanks for listening to the Hustle Factory podcast show with me as your host. If you fucking love my podcast show and want to know more, check us out on our Twitter page at H Factory Podcast, and also in our Facebook page as well for some news and updates on the upcoming new episodes of the show. And don't forget that my podcast show is also now available on iTunes and on Google Podcasts as well. I will be working on adding my podcast on other directories so that I can connect with more potential audiences out there. And lastly, it will mean a world to me, guys, if you guys can go ahead and leave a review on iTunes. The link to my iTunes is going to be available on my SoundCloud, and it's also available as well on my Twitter and on my website as well at johnlimdimas.com. So other than that, join us next month when I will be discussing about haters. So tune in, and I'll see you guys next time.